I'm gonna weld that sucker so tight. What up everyone? I hope you enjoyed your week. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're getting back to work on this beast, our 1981 Jeep CJ5, and we've gotten so much stuff knocked out on this thing. We had to order some parts for our transmission over here. Super pumped to get those in and get those projects wrapped up. The first thing on the to-do list is getting this oil pan taken care of. We have to reinstall that. Then I was gonna install our super awesome wiring harness here. I'm really excited to break that thing open, but I was giving it a second look up here, and all these wires obviously are gonna be ripped out and replaced. However, I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump into painting the inside of the Jeep with our Raptor liner. I'm thinking on the outside, I'm going through different colors, but whatever I choose, I think I'm gonna go with a black interior color. So we have the black Rhino liner. We're gonna spray the inside, so we have a lot of prep work to do just to make sure everything's clean. Obviously get all the dirt, the rust. We gotta sand down all the loose areas. We do still need to replace the entire tailgate area, so I'm not gonna bother Raptor lining that just yet. I'll touch that up when we get that replaced. But getting it all cleaned up there will make our wiring so much easier. I don't wanna wire it up and then have to try to paint up there. Wouldn't work out. So that's just the list that's gonna kick us off today. I'm sure we'll encounter issues. I'm sure we'll have to fix some other things as well. Let's get after it. These little blue tabs really save the day. I've never used these before, and I was really nervous about getting the gasket lined up with the oil pan, but putting those clips up first and then just kind of clicking in the gasket, then putting our oil pan on really made a huge difference, especially up here. I'm not sure if you saw me struggling in the B-roll, but it's so tight up here. Technically, I think you're supposed to take this loose, but since I have nothing else holding up the engine, I had to keep this tight. So I kind of was able to work it up between here. Luckily, the gasket was kept straight by these little clips. So now that everything's in place, let's go ahead and tighten it up. It got the oil pan nice and tight. I ended up needing to run a tap through one of the holes. I don't know if they were just super clogged up or what, but we got that taken care of, all nice and tight. Now we can move on to cleaning and painting the interior. All right, so we have a few things we need to do to get this body prepped for paint. Number one, we need to replace all these bolts right here with new hex bolts. I was reading around online, these Torx bolts are horrible to pull out. So a lot of people recommend replacing them with some type of hex bolt that won't strip out and won't rip in the future. And then back here, we have some wiring we gotta rip out. We gotta rip out and cut all the wiring from under the dashboard. As I mentioned earlier, I have a full new wiring harness we're gonna install. And then I think I'm gonna end up taping around the base of the entire roll bar here. And the goal is gonna be to Raptor line this little plate, but then we're gonna be doing this in like a gloss black. Anywhere that has loose paint like this, we're gonna do an extra deep sand on here and make sure all the loose material is removed. That way the Raptor liner has something to stick to. Wouldn't you know it, I've got a couple stripped out already, but I have an idea. I'm gonna weld that sucker so tight, I'll be able to pop it off no problem. If you're doing this at home, don't pull both screws off at the same time. I gotta try to bring this baby back just like a 1/4 inch to get that first bolt in. These little guys did not come easy. They definitely made me work for it. I think 3 or 4 were stripped and I had to weld little bolts to them in order to get them out. That said, I'm pretty stoked about the end result here. Over on that side, even on this side, all new hardware, grade 8 bolts so I know they're strong enough. But that's pretty much all the tub prep. Now we can start sanding and cleaning all the different portions of the tub to get ready for some Raptor liner. Sanding montages are exhausting, but if you're enjoying watching this craziness, hit that like button, it means a lot, and keep watching. Check this out. This sucker is looking so much better. All cleaned up here. I've been sanding for hours. Obviously, I have to wipe it down to get off all the chunks and whatnot, but everything is so much smoother and cleaner. I have to do the floor now, so I'm gonna keep at it. Then we're gonna wipe it down. Then we're gonna tape it off. Then we're gonna shoot it. Well, after what feels like an eternity, I think we got it. All the metal, it's all scuffed up with 80 grit, all vacuumed, all cleaned, looking really, really good over everything. Now I'm gonna grab some wax and grease remover, wipe the whole thing down, probably twice completely, just to make sure we're totally clean. Then we can tape, then we shoot. And voila, we have all the plastic and the tape done and we are ready to paint. So let's go ahead and get our Raptor liner mixed and get shooting. All right, so I pulled off the plastic and the tape just to make sure none of it would peel up once it was done drying. Let's let it bake overnight and catch it in the morning. All right, the paint's all dry and it looks amazing. Check this out. Well, this came out stinking amazing. I love the Raptor liner finish. It's a little rubbery, but super durable, super easy to wipe out too if I get dirt and stuff in here. But everything just turned out so good here. I definitely need to get some new seatbelts, something with some color that maybe pops with whatever color I paint the outside with the black interior. But again, I'm super pumped how well all this turned out. It seems like it stuck really well, so obviously all that body prep went a long way. Like I mentioned previously, we didn't do the back at all because we're gonna be replacing that with a new piece down the road. And as you see, I've got some holes to patch here that I had to cut in there, and then it's just really bubbly, wavy, and there's a little bend in the top. So we're gonna be changing that out in the future. But otherwise, I am super pumped with how incredible this came out. And that's a wrap for this video. Stay tuned because the next video is actually gonna be putting that transmission completely back together. I'm excited to have that thing done and put it on the shelf to be installed back into the Jeep soon. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It means a lot. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you in the next one.